All right, Shalom. I'll start first by giving all praise and glories unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahushai, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahushai, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahushai, Call Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Double honors to the elder apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. And greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the elect, those that do this work in sincerity and truth. The house of David, those that will receive salvation in the coming destruction that's coming, that will befall this world. Shalom unto you. I got a response video here as I titled it, Through the Lens. This is the response to the video that was done by Jesus is the Word when they confronted the brothers in Great Millstone, Dallas. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get this together. Salakia. See if I can bring it up. But when they confronted the brothers, man, you know, it was a lot of slicing and dicing going on. Salakia, bear with me while I get this under control right quick. I just want to briefly show you, brothers, the video that we're talking about in particular. This was brothers have done a bunch of response videos, you know, and this is pretty much this is the brother Karatazaz's video. I'm gonna turn around and try to get it. Let me go back because it's playing. Hold on 1 second. I can bear with me. I'm getting it together. But this is the video. Turn around. Yeah, this is the video right here of Jesus is the Word and K-Dub coming down to the Dallas camp and confronting them brothers, man. You know, and so whatever, man. They got sliced and diced. And they still act like they don't, you know, brothers thoroughly edified them on all things, you know, and they still act like but they don't get it. Well, they don't get it because it's not for them. This is an exclusive thing that the Most High gave us, you know. Oh, shit. Hold on, little music and everything set up for this. This is an exclusive thing that the Spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua gave us, that they gave the men of Great Millstone and those that are like doctrine. You know, you guys get on here and think you know the Word, but you really don't know the Word of the Most High God, because it's not for you to know. You know, it's for the real men, pastors according to his own heart to know, you know. But so you can't tell us what the being an Israelite is through the lens of a so-called Black Hebrew Israelites. And real quick, we're not Black Hebrew Israelites. Let's dispel that off the top. We are not Black Hebrew Israelites. We're the Hebrew Israelites. It's not just so-called Negroes, West Indian, and Haitians. It's all 12 tribes, not just the southern kingdom. It's both kingdoms together with one stick, according to Ezekiel the 37th chapter. You know, it's all of us now that are being joined together, which is a prophecy, which you guys don't deal with or understand prophecy, but that's part of what this is about. You know, the prophecy of us, both kingdoms coming together again. They hadn't been together since the times of King David. Let me see here. This thing is playing games. Wait a few more minutes, see if anybody comes in. If not, oh well. You know, we're just gonna move on. But yeah. So not nothing on the play, huh? Yeah. All right, there we go. So we'll run it back real quick. And yeah, so This will be just for us that are in the know, that understand this thing, man. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to give the real view, so to speak, through the lens of an Hebrew Israelite from the perspective of Great Millstone. And it's easy because we go strictly through these scriptures. You know, all we do is we go through the scriptures, we filter them. You know, we filter everything in life, society, whether it be prophecy and current events or history of past events. We filter it all through. You know, and that's what we do here at Great Millstone. But the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is what gives us the understanding that we need. And that's what you guys don't have. A lot of groups out there don't have it, and you Christians definitely don't have it, man. You guys have been in that plantation Christianity for so long, especially you so-called Negroes and Latinos that's been in that other doctrine for all these years. That's all you know. You don't really know or understand what the Spirit is trying to show you, nor do you want the prophecies to come to pass from what the Spirit has been showing us. You know, you don't want America to be destroyed. So like, you don't want America to be destroyed. You don't want to reign the supreme in righteousness upon the earth under Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. You don't want that, man. You don't want that rulership position, because you don't have a rulership mentality. So without further ado, I'm going to go into some scripts about this lens. And these are basic scripts that we learn here at Great Millstone anyway, when we first come into this thing. Shalom to you brothers and sisters, whoever may be on the comment board. But yeah, we're going to go straight to the point of Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 18. It says, "For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow." That's the part that you don't understand. You guys always want to hinge on Apostle Tahar, how he broke down to I think that video particularly was to Polite and them in the Black Consciousness group or whatever. But he explained what the law says about rape and what it says about the age of marriage. You know, that's what it was talking about. But you guys always want to hinge on that to draw in an emotional agenda against what the laws of the Bible say, and then particularly put it on the apostle or on all of GMS. Well, the part that you guys don't understand is when that situation occurs, we know how to deal with it. You know, and it is a grievous thing to hold all of this wisdom. You know, to give it to you and deliver this word to you the way we do it. But this is also a labor of love, you know, because we got a bunch of hard-headed niggas. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just read it because it doesn't get said better than in the book of Ezekiel. And I'll get right back to the topic, but this is part of some of the true lens that we were given of coming into this thing. So I'm gonna start at Ezekiel chapter 2 at the top. It says, "And he said unto me, Son of man, stand upon thy feet, and I will speak unto thee. And the Spirit entered into me when he spake unto me, and set me upon my feet." Yeah, when the Spirit comes upon you to want to become or return back to your biblical heritage as you're supposed to, becoming a Hebrew Israelite, learning this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and then and to the point where you go out on the streets and teach it. That's what this Spirit will give you, right? It says, "And set me upon my feet, that I heard him that spake unto me." That was the Spirit through Yahushua, through Yahweh speaking to us, right? It says, "And he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation." It says that. Let me bring it closer. It says that have rebelled against me, and their fathers have transgressed against me, even unto this very day. And even to this very day, our people still transgress unto the Heavenly Father. And the way you transgress is through sinning, which transgressing and sinning go hand in hand when you break the statute, laws, and commandments. That's how that happens. You break the statute, laws, and commandments of the Most High God. That's how you transgress and sin against the Most High God. And that's why we're in captivity and punishment even to this very day. It says, but our people love to have it that way. You know, they love to be comfortable in this society. They love to be wicked, along with the other wicked nations of the world, particularly the so-called white man, who is the nation of Edom or Esau. You know, they love to be that way. Reading on, it says, for they are impudent children and stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord power. And this is what we declare unto you, especially here at Great Millstone. We declare, thus saith the Lord power. Hey, the Bible tells you from the Most High God, Yahweh Bashim Shai, do this or don't do that, or this is coming. You know, this happened to you and this is coming. You know, that's how we declare it to you straight out of this book. It says, for they are impotent children, stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh. It says, and they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house. Now imagine you're talking to somebody that just don't want to hear what you're talking about, even though it's beneficial to them. They just don't want to hear it. Well, that's our people, man. That's how you know that these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Hebrew Israelites. Because of every other nation that will ever come up to a camp, they're the only ones that has a problem with the doctrine that's written in the Bible. They're the only ones that have that problem, because there is a responsibility that comes with that problem, with this doctrine. But they don't want to be a part of that. So, anyway, reading on, it says, yet shall know that there have been a prophet among them. And one day you guys are going to know that there have been prophets out there among you telling you the righteous way to do things and the ways not to do things. You're going to know that was us. You're going to know that was us, man, because we were giving you the prophecies, because the spirit of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. You're going to know that we were out there telling you World War III, Mark of the Beast, the RFID chip technology, and all and so on and so forth was going to happen, man. Anyway, it says, and holding all this information is grief unto us, like it says back in the first chapter of Ecclesiastes. Anyway, let me go down and get to the good part. No. I'm going to keep reading. It says, verse 6, and thou, son of man, be not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words, though briars and thorns be with thee, and thou dost dwell among scorpions, be not afraid of their words, nor be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. Yeah, we got to deal with these wicked ass people, man. We go out there and make our bodies a living sacrifice to these people that don't want to hear the word. They're just uncomfortable with the way that we bring this word to them. Well, we're not doing it for you. We're doing it for the elect, and we're doing it so, Lord willing, we can get salvation from Yahweh Bashim Shai and escape all these perils that's going to befall this world. Man, that's beginning to happen now. You know, reading on, it says, and thou shalt speak my words unto them, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are most rebellious. They ain't going to want to hear it. It said, but thou, son of man, hear what I say unto thee. Be not thou rebellious like that rebellious house. Open thy mouth and eat that I give thee. Meaning, open your mind and understand what's going on, whether it be the laws, the purposes of the laws, the prophecies. You know, all these things, you eat it, and what you understand, you do those things. It says, and when I looked, behold, an hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein, which represents this word. It says, and he spread it before me, and it was written within and without, and there was written therein lamentations, mourning, and woe. Now, lamentations, mourning, and woe are all negative things, you know. Lamentations is crying, mourning is sadness, and woe is destruction. These are things that we have to deal with this word, man. This is what we have to do and deal with when we come into this word. Delivering, we're the bearers of bad news. You know, the Christian church has always been like, oh, happy songs and Jesus and singing and the choir. They don't ever want to talk about the nastiness and the grittiness of the scriptures. Half of the Hebrew Israelites that's out there, these other groups, they don't want to talk about the nastiness in the scriptures that's coming. They just want to gather all black people together, or say we about to stand up and fight in arms and make our kingdom inside this kingdom, and so on and so forth. Not time for that, man. The spirit of this book gives us directly what to talk about and what to say. You know, anyway, verse 3, chapter 3, verse 1. I'm going to read a little more of this, not too much. Matter of fact, no, let me jump down. Yeah, I'm going to jump down because there's a couple key points here that are very good. Yeah, this whole thing is good, actually. Yeah, verse 3 and 1, I said, moreover, he said unto me, son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go and speak unto the children of Israel. The things that you are able to understand, go and speak those things. You know? Speak those things to the people, man. Tell them what you understand out of this book and what they need to know. And if what you don't understand, hey, pray, man. Like it says in, I think that's 2 Timothy, the 2nd chapter. Or even James, the 1st chapter, if I got it right. I think that's James, the 1st chapter. Salakia. I just want to double check. Always good to double check. It's yeah, James 1 and 5. Yeah. Anyway, it says back in Ezekiel, it says, for thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech and of a hard language, but to the house of Israel, to your own people. It says, not too many people of a strange speech and of a hard language, whose words thou cannot understand. It's not like we're speaking a whole nother language, and they always want to talk about us bringing up the Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew, right? The Lashwan Quadash. They always want to talk about that. Well, we introduce you to words through that. We tell you to study that so you can understand that when it comes. What if when the Most High calls, you know, he calls you through the Hebrew and you don't know it? Just what if? That's how I look at it. You know, I'm not telling everybody that that's what you got to do. But what is it going to hurt you to learn your nationality and learn the language that you're from? You're an Hebrew Israelite. You're not English. You don't speak Spanish. You're not Spanish. You're originally from Israel, man. That's where our people are from. We're children of the Most High God, and the language that He spoke, that He originally gave us, was the ancient Hebrew, not Yiddish, but the ancient Hebrew. All right. Shalom, brothers on the comment board. It says, surely had I sent thee unto them, they would have hearkened unto thee. Yeah, if it was sent to the other nations, man, they would have listened. But it's sent unto us, the most rebellious house, the hard-headed people that have had this word beaten out of them, and had this captivity beaten in them. You know, to where they now follow after Christianity, Islam, and so on and so forth, other doctrines, you know, away from the ways of the Heavenly Father. When this was supposed to be pursuant to Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter, when this was supposed to be our wisdom inside of all the other nations, man. That's why they would gravitate to it and we don't. Because they know when we have it, everything in the world falls in order and lines right up for us. Then we'll have blessings upon blessings. Now we got to wait for that process to come through Yahweh Shai, bringing us back to the Most High, and after the electing in the kingdom of heaven and so on and so forth. But up until now, our people don't want to get this thing, man. It's too much responsibility for it. And you guys that's out there really in this Christian thing trying to come up against the men of the Lord, guess what? You fail to realize that there's nothing that you can do. You can't stop it, but you're further putting our people back in the captivity. We're trying to keep them in chains and keep them comfortable here in captivity. When we're trying to, like it says in the book of John, it says, the truth will make you free. And that's what we're doing. We're freeing the elect of our people. So anyway, that's enough of that. Basically, our people are going to be hard-headed, and His word is going to be bitter. Matter of fact, let me jump down to that. Verse 14, Ezekiel 3 and 14, it says, so the Spirit lifted me up and took me away, and I went in bitterness in the heat of my spirit. Matter of fact, let me jump over to the book of Revelation, just so you can see the full understanding of this right here, this bitterness that comes with gaining His word. Because when you take this in, man, it becomes bitter unto you, right? Because there's a responsibility. If you're going out in the cold, in the wintertime, the East Coast brothers that got the heavy, and the brothers in the North that got to go out there in the snow, they go out there in the snow anyway. Unless there's a blizzard where they can't go out there, they go out there in those frigid temperatures. We go out, we here in Vegas and different desert cities, we go out in the extreme heat, the rain, the sleet, snow. We out there, man, because we know that's our salvation on the line. We gonna go in season and out of season. That's a bitterness. That's what you have to prepare yourself for when you come into this thing. I got a little loud, didn't it? Turn that down a little bit. You know, that's the bitterness that you gotta accept coming into this thing. Revelation chapter 10, I'm gonna start at verse 9. It says, "And I went unto the angel and said unto him, Give me the little book." Talking about this Bible, right? It says, "And he said unto me, Take it, eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter." It's gonna make you bitter on the inside, like it says. Matter of fact, I think I had that one. Yeah, I had that one written down. Next, let me grab it. Ecclesiastes 7:7. It says, "Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart." Yeah, once you realize that you've been oppressed, and there's this big Illuminati and Masonic and just all these things against you, whether it's GMO, whether it's the New World Order, whether it's no nutrients in your food, the music industry. When you realize all of this society is set up to destroy you in particular and all our people, you get bitter, man. You become mad at this thing, man. Well, that's the mind that you should be in when you're in Hebrew Israelite, man. You know, this is the real lens of what it's like to be in Hebrew Israelite from the inside out. And I won't be able to hit everything in this one video, but we're gonna touch on whatever whatever the Spirit gives me in this moment. Anyway, it says, "But it shall," back in Revelation 10, it says, "But it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey." So when you first taste it, when you first come in, this is the most beautiful thing that you've ever tasted. Then it becomes bitter once it's digested and you get an understanding of all the things that has to happen, from losing jobs, losing a woman, losing money, your family members, your friends. You lose all those things, but guess what? Is there a better reason of righteousness that you can be within? No, this is what it is, and this is the best it gets, man, on the earth. My life now has meaning now that I've come into this word. I want to know what I would do if once I heard this, how far I just went back into the world. I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I wouldn't know what type of women to go after. I wouldn't know what type of activities to do. This is what it is. Saturdays, I wouldn't know what to do with a Saturday. I don't even know what that is, let alone giving me the wisdom that I can live by and become a better man and a better person with. Anyway, it says, verse 10, "And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter." Yeah, my belly was bitter. You know, because your mind becomes bitter when you realize the frustration that even when you get over all the small things of losing stuff and so on and so forth, you know, taking up your cross after Yahweh Shai, you still, the patience part can also make you bitter. And that's why a lot of guys fall out, man. They fall out because they're not ready to endure however long this takes. Even though we hasten the day, we know that this process does take time. But if you look at where the prophecies are today, all it takes is one event here, then the domino effect. Then you're knee deep in and just like, oh, ain't no turning back now. Anyway, verse 11, I want to read this. It says, "And he said to me, Thou must prophesy again before many people and nations and tongues and kings." Yeah, we must prophesy was the point I want to make about that. We must go out and speak, prophesy, which the word prophesy means to say before. Say what before? Tell them what the Lord said was going to happen to this world before it actually happens, to warn them. Like it said in Ezekiel, "Give them warning from me." I don't think I actually read that script. I'll read it real quick. Verse 17, Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. "Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me." We have to do that. And then it goes on to say, if you don't warn the people and prophesy unto them, that their blood will be upon your hands. And if you warn them and they do listen and they turn, then happy you deliver their soul and your own. But if you warn them and they don't listen, then that's on them. Right? So back into the main part of this lesson, which is the lens of being an Hebrew Israelite, not a black Hebrew Israelite, but an Israelite, right? Which I'm gonna go to the book. Let me go there. The book of 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians chapter 15. Yep. Bear with me 1 second. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, I'm going to start at verse 19. It said, if in this life only we have hope in Yahushua, we are of all men most miserable. This is a miserable life we lead, man. You know, you guys want to sit up here and demonize Great Millstone for understanding the purpose of a law of rape and what the purpose of puberty is and what that means once puberty once a person crosses over into puberty, whether that be a young man crossing over into puberty and becomes a man, or if a young girl crosses over and becomes a woman after puberty with her period. That's basically, because we understand that you want to demonize us and act like we're just so happy to be running out there and want to rape women, and we're not doing none of that. We're not doing none of that. We just understand if that situation comes up and we're asked to be a judge in that matter, we know where to go in the law and how to break it down through the law on how to judge that matter. That's what this is about. But you guys still want to deem us rapists of 12-year-old girls and whatever else. 9-year-old. This keeps getting younger every time you bring it up. Well, that's not a sore spot with us. You may hold that as a sore spot, but it's only bringing edification to what the word of the Lord is talking about. Anyway, I'm going to read that one again. 1 Corinthians 15 and 19. If in this life only we have hope in Yahushua, the word hope means to expect that Yahushua will come back and save us, that we're, Lord willing, of the elect, then it says we are of all men most miserable. Out of everybody on the planet, we're the most miserable because we have to endure this captivity on and on and on till actually salvation comes. And there's no assurance that that's going to happen. We just do the things that it pertains to, that Lord willing, we get it. So, next script I will go to. Oh, yeah, it's a good one. A lot of meat in this one, man. Sirach, chapter 2. For brothers that know these scripts, man, you know, you already know what this is about, man. But these are the things that we have to endure and deal with through the lens or the eyes of an Hebrew Israelite. If you're in one of these so-called Hebrew Israelite groups, you know, and you guys aren't seeing these scriptures and these things and living it out, then you need to check to see if you be in the faith, because this is what's supposed to befall a man when he comes into this thing. Prime example right here, the book of Sirach, Ecclesiastes, and the Apocrypha, chapter 2, verse 1, it says, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, Yahweh, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure. Prepare your soul for temptation. That things are going to come. There's going to be women popping up out of nowhere. That's, oh my God, you're so wonderful. There's going to be money offers. There's going to be whatever your soul is prone to or vulnerable to is going to come and tempt you. But even things that you would not get weak for are going to come and tempt you to come away from this thing. You know, going to try to find a way to pull you out of this righteous thing, because the spirit of this world, the way it's set up now, is just trying to pull us up out of this thing. Trying to demonize some people. I can't wear those garments y'all wear. Or I can't stand out there for 6 hours at camp, man. Or it's too cold. Or I got to study and put up 3 videos a week. Or whatever it is. If you're weak, man, you don't deserve to be in this thing. You don't deserve salvation. So the spirit of this book is telling you to prepare yourself for these things as they come. I'm going to read this one. Shalom, brother. This is GMS Barazal Makobath. It says, Zechariah chapter 9, verse 2, turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. And we are prisoners of hope. The stronghold is this book, man. This book stands the test of time. You can't knock this book down. We break the strongholds of this world, pursuing the, 2 Corinthians, the 10th chapter. We break the strongholds of this world that are false, but we hold strong to the stronghold of this Bible. You know, we hold strong to that, man. You can't break us with that. You know, this is we can't, like I believe it was King David that said, who can separate me from my Lord? You know, we don't want to be separated from him. We pray that the Spirit never leaves us, that we earn salvation. You know, it says, even to this day do I declare that I will render double unto thee. Yeah, man, there's a righteousness that will, a righteous reward that we get for this, man. And that's what we hope for. But guess what? It's bitter this whole way down till we get there. It's a bitter thing trying to get to the kingdom of heaven, man. It's dangerous. Your life has no assurance. You don't know. You know, temptations and different things come upon you, and you're wondering like, oh, what do I do? How do I deal with it? You got these different groups, whether they these other Israelite groups demonizing you, the black unconsciousness groups or whatever, or these Christian groups, whoever it is, they come against you and they bring up all this nonsense and slanders about you. But guess what? You got to deal with that. You endure that and you deal with that. You know, and the Lord looks upon that as righteousness, man, for you enduring that. Anyway, it says, where we at? We're at the middle of verse 2. In fact, I'm starting at the top of Sirach 2 and 2. It says, set thy heart aright, man, meaning get your mind right, man. Understand that you got to deal with this. That this is part of what you deal with. Count the cost of all of this. It says, and constantly endure, because it's always going to be something. And we have a phrase here in the Las Vegas camp: if it ain't one thing, you know, if y'all know Snoop Dogg or whatever, it's another. If it ain't one thing, it's another. You know, you're gonna have to deal with something at some point. You know, you're gonna have to deal with something at some point, and it's probably. For a lot of brothers, man, it's constant. It's just always going. As soon as one thing go, okay, car trouble. Okay, I work, slave at work to get that back. Okay, that's cool. Now it's this. Now I'm sick. Or now it's the next thing. Now my woman got a demon on her. Or now it's this next thing. It's always going to be something that you got to deal with. It's always going to be something that you're going to deal with that is truth outside of this, whether it's battling these other organizations trying to tear this thing down. That they can't do nothing against the truth, but only for the truth. But you got to put it out there, you know, whether it's that, put it in study time, whatever the case may be, you do that, man, it's counted as righteousness unto you. Anyway, it says, cleave unto him, the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, it says, and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Like the brother said in that you may be rendered unto you double. It says, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. And that's talking about the bad things, man. I got to precept that right quick to the book of 1 Peter, which I think I wrote. Yep, that's the next one I had written down. Let's go to 1 Peter right quick. 1 Peter chapter 4. Let me see. Verse 12, it says, beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial that is to try you. Yeah, fire, man. When has fire ever been a pleasant thing? You know, when has it ever been known as you going through the fire or something and it was easy? You think when Daniel was in the or even better yet, the song of the three holy children, you think that was easy to be in there when it was increasingly hot? You go into the book of Daniel, I think it's the 2nd chapter, and read about that, and then the prayer that they actually spoke in the book of the three holy children and the Apocrypha. When you read those together, man, you understand it was tough, but they trusted in it, man. They trusted in this thing. That's what the lens or the mind of an Hebrew Israelite should really be about. It shouldn't be about, I'm this Hebrew Israelite, I got this many something, I'm trying to rule on this side. It's not about that, man. It's not about all the things you guys make it into. The sad part is you guys don't like the fact that we're coming at you with this authority from this book. But why are we not the authority when we're the ones with the Lord gave the breakdowns to? We give you prophecies to break down. You guys don't know nothing. The Christian church ain't known none of these breakdowns. They still don't. A lot of them have to watch Great Millstone videos or the Lock Doctrine to get the breakdowns. And they're starting to do it because they know this is the source of where you get it from. You know, we see it because we were in the church and we see that you never had these breakdowns previously. How's the feed, Akim? I don't know how many brothers on here, but is the feed good? Kind of glitched on my side for a split second. Lord willing, it's good on this side. Either way, I'm gonna keep going. It says, beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. But rejoice, meaning even in a bad situation, you rejoice and make it a good thing, right? It says, but rejoice inasmuch as ye are partakers of Yahweh's sufferings, of the anointed sufferings. Yeah, that he suffered for us, and a servant's not greater than his master. The water. The servant's not greater than his master, so we got to endure these things also. We're gonna go through stuff like he went through. No, we're not gonna go through as harshly as he went through, you know. Or if we do, rejoice in it, man. He laid his life down to bring us back, and the point is, we're brought back to the Most High God, and that's a huge thing. That is a huge thing to come back to the Most High God, meaning we ain't got to be on the bottom no more. He beginning to deal with us again, and we can rule the world in righteousness as it was always intended over all these other heathen nations. Yes, and they will be our slaves. Yeah, there's nastiness that you may not like in the scriptures, but too bad, that's what it is. We need slaves to build up our kingdom in righteousness. They've been having us as slaves all these years. The so-called white man deserves all that he's getting, the slavery work he's about to put in. He deserves the end that he's gonna come to get dashed to pieces for what he did to our people, cutting off our people's heads, kicking it around, like creating a game of soccer or football, as you would call it. You know, talking about the original football, right? Gator bait, all that, what I did with our babies, cutting them open, the whole turkey hunt. And I mean, there's a lot of wickedness this man did. And the scriptures tell you, man, I think I had that one. But I'll just kind of quote it. Happy should they be, they stabs they little ones against the stone. I don't know if I quoted that right, but brothers, I think get the drift. Yeah, then he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. We hope for that, man. You did it to us on such a wrong level, but we deserved it because we disrespected the Heavenly Father by not keeping our agreement with Him, you know, the covenant with Him. So we deserved it, but you went above and overboard in destroying us. That's another breakdown for another day. Anyway, it says, as though some strange thing happened unto you, but rejoice in as much as ye are partakers in Yahweh's sufferings, that when His glory shall be revealed, that ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. If ye be reproached for the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Hamashiach, it says, happy ye are, for the Spirit of glory and of the Most High God resteth upon you. On their part, he is evil spoken of. You are evil spoken of from everybody else. The whole Christian world and the millions of followers that they have, they may hate you and the world may hate you. Right? It says, but on your part, he is glorified. The Most High, Yahweh Shai, under the Most High, is glorified, man. That's what this is about, being glorified at the end of the day in righteousness, man. We don't care about you. You people can't judge or make me feel in particular, or make us feel bad about the righteousness of the Most High. That's the judge we're worried about. You know, you go into the book of Matthew. I think it's the 10th chapter. Let me look to be sure. Since you got the sword out, swing it real quick. Matthew 10 and 28. It says, fear not him which can kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to kill both, to destroy both soul and body in hell. We're worried about that. Con, brother, I'm bringing that one soon. I'm going to bring that one out too. Beautiful script, bro. I'm going to bring that one out. You know, what we're worried about, that's what we're concerned with. That's what we're worried about. So let me go back into Sirach, the 2nd chapter. Sirach chapter, back in Sirach chapter 2, verse 4 said, whatever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. Because you're going to be changed to a low estate. But you have to understand how to be abased and abound in this thing. How to be low on the bottom, or have balance in yourself when you're up on a high level. You have to know the difference and how to deal with that. You know? because it shouldn't change you dramatically. Like people always say, money don't change you. Yes, it does. If you have the wrong mentality on it. If you don't, then you remain the same person. And the measuring stick of that same person that you should be is measured out of this word, man, out of this book. It shows you directly how to be a man of the Most High, whether you're broke or a man of the Most High, whether you have many riches. King Solomon, being the richest man to ever in our kingdom ever, he knew how to do it. He didn't even pray for more riches. He prayed for wisdom, which brought him more riches that he may edify and judge the people wisely. And it made him a great king upon our nation, upon the earth. Anyway, it says, but that lower state's coming, man. We know it, and when you're in that lower state, guess what? You got to deal with that, man. This is the lens. I'm gonna keep repeating this. This is the lens of a Hebrew Israelite. It's a lower state that you are changed into. It ain't all this worldly glory that everybody and all these Christians with the three-piece suits and the Maybachs and the jets. It ain't all of that, man. It ain't all of that. This is a lowly job, but guess what? What we don't get on this side, we get in abundance on the other side. You know? Kind of, the love of money is the root of all evil. That's right, brother. You know? Money itself isn't the problem. Money is a defense. But the love of money, when you start doing everything you can and damn near selling your soul, which a lot of entertainers do, people sell it, or whether they do it or they would do it, they would sell their soul for riches and money. You know? But we know how to live either way, because we've probably experienced how to live with a little bit of money on this side, and gonna experience, if we haven't already, how to live way low on the bottom. You know, and eventually it will become a time where there will be we'll get those riches in the kingdom of heaven, man. And then through this wisdom, we'll understand properly how to deal with it. You know? Anyway, reading on, it says, for gold is tried in the fire. Here we go, tried in fire again, right? But gold is a precious metal. Gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men, comparing them to gold, in the furnace of adversity. Matter of fact, that reminds me of something. I'm going to read this one, because these things, furnace of adversity, right? I always love this scripture in the book of 2nd Esdras, 16. Yes, 2nd Esdras 16 and 19. It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. Yeah. That furnace of affliction is a way to correct you and send you through something so you can be more refined and be better at the end of the day. You know, that you may be increased at thy last end, as it said in the book of Sirach. And when those things come upon the men of the Lord and the 2/3 of our nation, we become better as people. And then when this big time comes, talking about the destruction of America and the cleansing of the wickedness off the planet Earth, when that happens, man, that process, our people are gonna become better from that. You know, we're gonna become better from that. We're gonna become wiser, righteous people. Kingdom of we're gonna be a kingdom of priests. You know, unto the nations. Anyway, it says back in the book of Sirach, it says, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. Order thy way aright. How? You got to follow these statutes, laws, and commandments, man, to the very best of your ability. There's some that we can't keep, but the ones you can keep, you will be judged within yourself of being able to keep that or not. If you know that gelatin is pork, but you just love Jello, you don't have to eat Jello. There's kosher gelatin out there. You know, there's turkey bacon if you just cannot eat bacon. You know, there's ways to get around this thing, man. A lot of these statutes, laws, commandments are doable, but we cannot do them all. That's why we're not judged according to the law, but we're judged according to faith, which is an all right thing, man. Which is a good thing. Continuing on, it says, ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall. Let me keep. That's pretty much it on that. Yeah. And that's pretty much on that. That's good. So let me go into the book of what did I have written? Yeah, I do into that. Matthew. That's what I thought. The book of Matthew, the 5th chapter. You know, because these are the things that happens to the men of the Lord, man. You Christians out there, you don't deal with this. You just want smooth, easy talk. But that's why you're gonna be unprepared when this comes down, man. When all of the destruction comes down, you guys will be ill prepared for this, man. And then you'll get extra hell on you for scoffing at the men of the Lord. You know? And all you turncoats and fallouts, you will get destroyed with sword strokes, man. You know? The Lord is going to deal with you guys, man. All you scoffers and all, the Lord is going to deal with you guys, man. And then that's something that you worry about and you pray about also. You fast, you pray. These are things that we do as Hebrew Israelites, man. We pray, we read, we study to show thyself approved unto the Most High God, rightly dividing the word of truth, a workman that shall not be ashamed. We do these things, man. This is part of it. So going into the Hebrew and studying into the Greek and all of this, hey, that's why Great Millstone is on the level it is. Through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, on down to the Apostle Tahar and the Apostle elder apostles and all the way down, and the elders and so on forth, that give us these tests and these studies and these questions and have us doing these videos. That's why we're prepared for you groups. When you guys try to come upon us and want to debate the cause of this word, man. Well, that's why we're on such a high level, because the Spirit put us in position to be prepared for all these things. We're going into stuff that you guys have no clue about. That scriptures that never get read or broken down in these churches, man. In these other Israelite groups even. So I'm going to go to the book of Matthew, the 5th chapter, and I'm going to start at verse 3. It said, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted." Right? And it say that they be happy. It said mourn. We're going through these things, us as a people, but in particularly us as men of the Lord. It said, oh, I need a quick sip. Bear with me, brothers. It says, verse 5, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." And that's what we're hoping to do, to inherit the earth. And the word meek, I believe, is lowly. You know, brothers that's humbled and on the low. You know. Anyway, it says, we inherit the earth because it was already for our sake, but we inherited by being the judges of this world. Right? Of the world to come. We're going to be judges in the kingdom of heaven. And we're judges now. You know, because we're using the spirit of this book to judge righteous and right and wrong, as well as, which is balanced judgment, as well as how to order ourselves and to set ourselves up to do the right things as well. It says, "Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled." You know, we hunger and thirst for this thing, and we'll be filled. It says, "Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy." You want mercy, you give mercy. What were the three things that let me go to the Pharisees omitted. Yeah, right here. Judgment, mercy, and faith were the weightier matters that were omitted by the wicked scribes and Pharisees, man. That's what we have to exhibit. Mercy. Hey, give brothers a chance, man. But we have to, when brothers wrong you, you got to deal with that. That don't mean let them continue to wrong you. It just means understand that, hey, man, we all trying to figure it out, and it may not have been on purpose. There's a lot of things in these scriptures, man, that we deal with, you know, through the lens of an Hebrew Israelite, you know. So these fellow believers now, a 2/3 that's really just scoffing and not really trying to get it, or even a non-believer. You deal with that, man. You deal with that. You don't have to continue to pass on them the jewels of this book. But you learn how to deal with each situation. You know, because this book will give that to you. So reading on, it says, verse 8, it says, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see the Most High God." It said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of the Most High God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake." And that's what you guys do to us. You always persecute us because of our doctrine, especially here at Great Millstone. In the words of Vocab Malone, right? He said, on GMS, they're the sickest. They're like the worst. They're the ones that basically, they're the ones furthest away from the Christian doctrine of the world perspective on what the Bible should be about. Well, guess what? We may be the furthest from the world perspective, but we're the closest to righteousness, man, to the truth out of this book. That's where we're at. We have 100% truth here at Great Millstone. We declare that amongst the world at large, right? It says, "Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you," and we are reviled, meaning hated and detested by people, right? It says, "and persecuted," and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. So what kind of blessings is the Apostle Elder Tahar gonna get for putting out there the doctrine, but you guys continually go at that man about him breaking down the law about rape and the law about marriageable age and what marriage was, and you know, and when a young woman becomes or a girl becomes a woman, because you guys don't agree with it because you're emotional on when these things happen. Well, guess what? There's 13-year-old, 12, 13, 14-year-old girls right now that's fucking right now. They're doing that right now because their bodies are ready and their hormones and all that's ready. Well, because they've been through their puberty. And all he did was, in all the spirit of the book, is read out the spirit of the book, out of what the words in the law said in the Bible about what you do in a situation like that. That's it. You guys are making it a bigger deal, like we're okay with it, like we do it. No, we never said we do it. We don't. We just know how to deal with it. Plus, in this world, it ain't righteous to do it in this world. All things may be lawful, but all things are not expedient, and that's definitely one of them. As the order came down, if brothers don't remember, Elder Apostle Tahar said, if anybody get caught with that, man, it's a wrap for you. You know? You don't get, man, you ain't in the righteous spirit, man. You don't understand what you're dealing with in this world. You're not fit for this word. If you're out there, grown ass 20, 30, 40 some year old man popping young girls, man, popping girls, you know, young teenage girls at that. 13, 14, 15-year-old girls, man. That's not how this goes, man. That's not what this thing is about. That's not giving you consent to do those things. Anyway, back to the main point. It says, blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Why? Because we know that the devil's going to come down having great wrath upon us. And when he does that, he may send his little minions out there, whether they be people like Jesus is the Word, or K-Dub, or EJ Love and his sidekick Adam, or whoever, or Vocab Malone, or James White the Edomite, and all these other guys, man. You guys are simply coming up against us because you don't like that we're trying to bring change to this world. Or you're trying to bring some type of fame and acclaim to yourself. Well, good luck with that, man. You're going to get famous in the wrong way, you know. Anyway, it says, rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets that were before you. And we know that that's what the role of a prophet becomes, man. You get persecuted. Matter of fact, let me go to 1 Corinthians. I had it written down also. Matter of fact, it's a good time to bring your script out. It was Acts, this is from the brother GMS Barazal Makubath, Acts 14 and 22, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, that we must through much tribulation. We must through much tribulation. So we got to go through much tribulation to enter into the kingdom of the Most High God. We got to go through it, man. You got to go through it. You're going to go through the lowly road, man. They persecuted the prophet before us. They persecuted our Lord Yahweh Shai. We got to go through it too, man. You ain't the servant than his master. We got to go through it as well, man. Prepare yourself for temptation. Think it not strange that these things come upon you. Right? 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 9. It says, "For I think that the Most High God, Yahweh, has set forth us the apostles last, as it were appointed to death." You know, that we put us on the bottom, put us on the low, that we could be killed, man. They set us up to be destroyed in this situation. Right? Like all the other prophets have been set up and got killed previous to this situation. Well, this one, we don't die on this one, man. Some brothers will be beheaded in righteousness, meaning they will be beheaded, but they'll come back and they'll be martyrs for this word, and it will be adjoined to them for righteousness. But a lot of the men of the Lord won't see death on this go round. Right? It says, "For we appointed to death, for we are made a spectacle, something to look at and be entertained by your sight unto the world and to angels and unto men." That's why we're getting the views that we're getting. That's why they're bringing all this attention to Great Millstone in particular, and those with the like doctrine about what our doctrine truly is, which is fine. You can bring that to us if you want. But guess what? Understand this much, that we have the truth. And whether you like it or not, these things will come to pass. Whether you like it or not. Hey, deal with it. It says, verse 10, "For we are fools for Yahweh's sake." Yeah, for we are fools for Yahweh's sake. But we are wise in Yahweh. We are weak, but ye are strong. We are honorable, but we are despised. These are the righteous things that people look at us in the negative way, but in the eyes of the Most High God, who we only care about, we don't care what you people think about us. We care about what the Spirit, with Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai look at us, and how they think about us, and how they view us. Right? It says, "Even to this present hour, we both hunger," I mean, we don't have enough to eat, "and thirst, and are naked, and are buffeted," beat up, "and have no certain dwelling places," no certain place to live. It says, "And labor, working with our own hands, being reviled, we bless. Being persecuted, we suffer it." We deal with all these things, man. This is the lens. This is what happens. Hey, you walk into a restaurant or something, and somebody will just have a stank attitude toward you. Why? Because their wicked spirit recognizes your righteous spirit, right? And they'll just have a hate for you off the top, and they don't want to help you. They don't want to aid you in any way, even though it's their job. This is the things that come to us. Is it for you to just blow up and get all out of proportion with it? No. You can acknowledge it. You can deal with it in however your spirit, deals with it. But you don't have to be a nigga towards whoever else. Just understand in the spirit that these things happen to you. You get there, and then the person before you gets the last something of the last something, the last meal or the last sale on this or that item or whatever. But that's what we go through as men of the Lord. We set ourselves up for this. We signed up for this. We signed up to get these things to happen unto us, right? It says, it says, "And labor, working with our own hands, being reviled, we bless. Being persecuted, we suffer it. Being defamed," calling us rapists and baby rapists and all of this other stuff, and just saying that we're the sickest, and there's all the negative things you say about us, calling us black, calling us the black Hebrew. We're not the black Hebrew Israelites, we're the Israelites. Calling us all these things, we being defamed, we entreat, we accept it. Okay, we'll take that. You throw it at us, we know why, because through the Spirit, you're really blessing us for enduring all of this that's going on, right? It says, "We are made as the filth of the world, and are the offscouring of all things to this day." Right? We're made as the filth of the world and the offscouring, the slime and grit and dirt and mud and nastiness, man. That's how the world looks at us today, because we're bearing bad news. They don't like the bad news that we bring them. But this is what it is. This is what it is. This is the message. Lamentations, mourning, and woe. That's what we got to deliver to you. If you don't like the breakdown that the mark of the beast is coming, and you won't be able to eat, buy or sell, that everybody has to take it, and then you won't be able to buy or sell, guess what? You're going to have to miss meals because of this thing. That don't make you comfortable. You rather hear the Christian church prophesying to you smooth things rather than these harsh things of righteousness and true warning that the men of, it's like that the men of the Lord are truly bringing to you. Well, that's the problem with you because you're not taking this word that way. That's a problem within you that you need to fix for yourself. Anyway, it says, I write not these, this is Paul writing, said, I write not these things to shame you, because it looks like a shame, right? It looks as if it's a shame unto us. I write these things not to shame you, but as my beloved sons, I warn you. We are being warned by Yahweh Shai through the Spirit, through Paul's writings, man. You know, we are being warned that this is what comes in, and we have to get our minds right to deal with it. You know, that's what this is. That's what we deal with. You know, we deal with this. Let me just get a couple more scripts and I'm gonna close out. And Lord willing, I'm gonna just do a part 2 because I wrote down a bunch of scripts. And this was pretty much part 1 about through the lens of how you look at how we as Hebrew Israelites look at this and how the world looks at us. You know, and all the negativity that comes with it, and all the enduring and the suffering. I don't want to say enduring and suffering, but all the hard work on this end, all the trouble that comes with this thing. You know, how people look at us not having enough, but just having barely enough. I know brothers can attest to working real hard, and then bills come around. You pay all your bills, or you pay as much of your bills as you can, and it's just enough to get you by to the next check. You know, just enough to eat something. Just enough to pay your bills, the minimum, so you can't do it big. You know, and you might even be able to have enough to grab a drink after. You know, so brothers do what they can, and it's hard living like that, man. But guess what? This is what it calls for. This is what the purpose of this is for, to send us through this trial of fire that we endure and make it to the end. So I'm going to try to pick up another live show maybe a day or 2 from now, and or maybe even later if the Spirit's still on me to do it. But, you know, anyway, so I'm going to go to Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death. Be thou faithful unto death. We signed up that we could possibly be killed, cast into prison and killed in this thing. Hey, Paul and them were cast into prison and killed. Not you know, they were cast into prison and the angel let them out. Some of them were beheaded. All of them were killed. You know, these are things that we go through, that we have to go through, that we signed up before you took this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding into your mouth and swallowed it down into your belly, and it became bitter. This was the bitterness that made. This is the things that became bitter, that they would in the book. Let me grab it right quick in the book of Sirach. Second Esdras. It says, still spoiling those that fear the Lord. If I can grab it right quick. Second Esdras chapter, I'm going to get just the point. 16 and 71, it says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Us that truly fear the Lord, man, we're gonna get spoiled, man. We're gonna get it too, man. But by the skin of our teeth, we're gonna barely make it. We should scarcely be saved, man. We're gonna scarcely make it through all of this, man. You know, scarcely make it through all of this. It says, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. That's why we don't fear death, man. Especially being in this thing, we don't fear death because we know that comes as a possibility of it, as well as it's an honor. You become a faithful martyr for this thing, for Yahweh Shai. Hey, Yahweh Shai died for us. The Maccabees died for righteousness. The men of the Lord and the prophets died for righteousness. If we're those same men coming back through the process of reincarnation, which is in the Bible, which is a reality, which is a fair judgment of how man should live upon the earth and the things that he should deal with. That's just a righteous thing, man. If you understand that, then this is what we have to deal with, man. We gotta be faithful martyrs where we can see death. We signed up for the worst of this thing, man. You know, but be faithful unto death, and he will give us a crown of life, man. So that's the views that we take as a Hebrew Israelite, man. Jesus is the word. You can say that you can look into the mind of an Israelite and through the lens and see what they see. You don't understand what we see, man. We're seeing things on a whole nother spiritual level. Let me grab one more script, man. I believe if I read it, I'm gonna glance over it first, and then before I read it, but I think it'll hit home. Bear with me one sec. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna grab that. I'll just quote this one instead. It says, "The Most High revealeth His secrets unto His servants, the prophets." Man, so we get to see the secret things, whether it be through visions and dreams or just understanding what these scriptures are talking about. We get those special and secret things, man, and it makes us that much more special, man, to understand and to know these things. So, the water for you brothers tuning in. I know the few of you that was on here. You know, thought I saw Black Ram on here. I can't. It won't let me scroll. GMS Barazal, Salakia, bro. Barazal, Makobath. The water for tuning in. All you brothers tuning in, man. Some of y'all that didn't post, appreciate it with that. Close out, giving all praise unto Yahweh Shemi Shai. Double honor to elder apostles at Great Millstone, who ruled well and taught us this doctrine. And greetings, salutations, and blessings unto all you brothers, the hopeful elect, that will receive salvation during the coming destruction. So,